Alrighty, Rue and Cuckoo Kachu to you and all my nobody's not watching out there. Um, Honestly, do you want to be the star of my next movie? Sure, why not? I said it before, I'll say it again. Seems like the right move here. Sure, why not? I have a hunch you're just saying that. Still, hey, in a way, this too is transcending beyond self. But, yeah, the test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? If I haven't earned your respect and not, I wouldn't expect loyalty, but at least enough respect to consider it, then I don't know what I could have done better. She puts her phone away for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good, hard look. Guess I can give it a shot. Yeah, you're not that dumb. You're not that boring, and you're kind of cute. Aww. I'm sure you're just saying that kind of cute part as a manipulation thing, but I appreciate it. Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. I feel like there's a lot going on there. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. I'll put you through enough shit. Next time I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. That's when, like, there's something about this. I don't know if it's something that, like, my subconscious remembers. Because I don't actively remember it. But it's like, I get the feeling that's, like, some part of me is just like, Pwah! Like, that's like, oh, that seems like the scariest thing you've said to me. That Sophie, like, you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. It's like, are we gonna die? She leads you through a labyrinth of gray corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in. This city is so much more than what its elites considered real. Stick with me, and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. Alright. She leads you out to the building into the back alleys. Even if someone else rules the streets, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. And I just, like, in my mind, I just assume she does a theatrical bow before vanishing, you know, and just being like, alright, well, that's what happened. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You never notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. A new ally, the power of hope. Like, she may not have even, like, vanished. She could have just dipped, you know, and it wouldn't be like a whole, like, use of power, but maybe. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. It's like, is this fucking real life? Alright, well, now we're at nighttime and we got a nappy. Ah, fuck, I missed the bit. Let me go back. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. Letters been slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. I mean, yeah. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan classic of stationery. Fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. The note is short and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. It's like, motherfucker, you're gonna, like, have, like, high, like, the paper envelope and probably a wax seal and shit. This whole thing cost you more than it would to get an expensive coffee at Starbucks or something, and you're just like, I have a paragraph to say, and it's in like calligraphy, and it's like, well, you're definitely not of my generation in any way or meaning of that word. Cool, 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 cool. You're cordially invited to rendezvous at the cathedral. Wait. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. Okay. There's no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation to the following night. Huh. I was told about the Second Inquisition. That doesn't sound like a great move. Like, you know? I am curious, though. I don't know. Faith and Myth, Part 1. Other Side of Hope. Gumshoe in the Dark and Jezebel. It's like... But I feel like this is something that's going to just happen now, and if I don't take the opportunity, it won't... I do remember doing it in the past. I don't remember how it played out. I'm not sure it was even worth my time. Fuck it, let's just do it. You haven't been to a church since you became a vampire, or kindredist, the euphemism goes, but you've had to focus on concrete, practical things like survival and feeding. You've learned the essentials of vampire experience, but you don't really have a clear idea of what it all means. The Cathedral of St. John, the Divine, is a New York landmark. You've been inside once before when you were much younger. You marvel that it's Garthic. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Yeah, no. Gothic facade. Looking at it now from across the street, it feels ominous. The prospect of an anonymous invitation to a secret meeting is a worrying one, but the venue is well chosen. It's hard to imagine a violent attack in a place like this. There's eyes everywhere. It's like, you're a vampire. You don't really know that much about vampires? And you don't know that crosses aren't usually harmful. But as a human being, knowing that vampires exist, you should be like, why as a vampire would I go here? I'm doing it because I think it's a limited time thing, and I kind of have to if I want to do it. And I don't remember how it turned out. It may have turned out not great, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a dead end, like, oh, game over, you know, and it is what it is. It's like, it's still fun content, I guess. You enter the cathedral discreetly. You've quickly learned this is an essential skill for a vampire. How to move without anyone noticing you. The full force of the cathedral's architecture hits you as you walk between the pews. If the architect meant to create the feeling of being small in the face of God's glory, mission accomplished. Based on the note, you're assuming that whoever you're meeting is somewhere in the front. As you step closer to the high altar, it feels as if something is dragging your feet, as if the stone beneath you resisted your movement. See, yeah, that's immediately, that would set off my spidey sense, like, I'm lethargic in this area. that doesn't seem good. Religion is superstition. Religion is the opiate of the masses. Vampires are satanic creatures. Does God still listen to you? I don't know enough about this character to be able to make a good choice here. I don't know if he was an atheist or a religious. This is a sort of common thing. I'm gonna go with, does God still listen to you? I don't know. Why not? Like, why not? It's been a long time since you prayed. You wonder whether God listens to creatures like you. It wasn't like you chose to become a vampire. You know, I think that has some meaning or value. Fatalistically, you take a step and then another. You're not sure if God is present in this cathedral, but perhaps it doesn't matter. What you feel is real enough. There's an old man sitting in the front. You see only the back of his head bowed down in silent prayer. Your footsteps echo on the floor, and he turns to look at you. You can't take your eyes off him. He's tall, dignified, white-haired, balding. A few strands escaping to the sides. He's wearing glasses and a simple clerical clothing. His eyes are warm and pale. Too kind for someone like you. Something is wrong. You feel heavy, as if a giant hand is pressing you down. The skin on your face is burning. Okay, fuck, no. Nope. They kicked in the music. Perhaps subconsciously you expected something like this as a vampire walking into a cathedral. Not only it's not a building or God making you feel like you're burning alive. Okay, that's not great. It's the man, the priest. His eyes upon you, his conceptualization, his awareness that you are an unholy creature, an abomination that is an affront to the God that is his belief. And he just walks up like, welcome, my child. Like, every word's like a dagger. It's just like, dude. Look at him. Like, look at this guy. I'm trying to think of a good analogy of what he looks like. He looks like Mr. Rogers, but mixed with Jeff Dunham's puppet. That old angry guy. I forget his name, but he looks like that guy. Like, and that's such a spectrum. That's like two different things. Mr. Rogers was awesome. You know, R.I.P. Big love. You know, and respect. But then also Jeff Dunham's puppet is not a real person and he's an asshole. And he looks like a mixture of those two things. The priest's tone is kind, but the rising panic inside you is telling you that kindness is not for the likes of you. Fuck it, I'm gonna face my fears. Let's deal with it. I don't seem like I don't have like that ring of loss of blood. So the only way to understand these painful feelings is to push. Wow, the music's getting louder. To push forward and confront the priest. As you step closer to the priest, panic rises inside you. The emotions are hard to control. Fear, anger, pain, all trying to wrestle in different directions away. Can I help you? Are you okay? Bite his ass and just rip his throat out and just scream, running away. I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I hope that's not an option. The priest talks to you like he would a lost vagrant who has chosen to enter the house of God. I'm not gonna say how are you doing this, and please it hurts doesn't make sense. So the only thing that makes sense is I'm sorry, Father. I'm so sorry. It's all right. Do you wish to pray? It's simply too much. You mutter something incoherent in reply, but you don't sound like a vampire and undead being made by immortal blood, but you're just another sad, confused, lost soul. Just like you turn around and stagger away, only feeling like yourself once you're back on the street outside. You stand on the sidewalk, confused, scared. No enemies seem to be attacking you. The priest didn't follow you. The night, his air is wet with the smells of the city. Same as every night. How did it feel? Motherfucking hipster ass bastard. He's even got a fucking scarf. You look at the man speaking to you. He's well dressed, as if a little archaic. Dark-haired, handsome, like a character from an old movie. He smiles if he knows something you don't. You glance around. There are people on the street. You don't appear to be in immediate danger. Honestly, this person probably set me up. I don't think that they did it, because it didn't happen until the priest existed and looked at me, and they didn't even they seemed to realize that I was something unnatural, but they didn't attack or do anything. Why does it hurt so much seems to be the most logical thing. Why does it hurt so much? Like, okay, you wanted this, so what's going on? That's the question I wanted to talk to you about. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benoit Bennett? Whatever, I'm just gonna call him Seagal. We share many things in common, even if you don't know me. He offers his hand to you. I could refuse to and glare at him. I could shake hands and... Nah, I'm not fucking using my powers. Fuck all that. Like, what's the point of having these powers if you don't use it? He's a vampire. That much is clear. He's using his blood to simulate the function of a living body, but the rhythm of his heartbeat reveals its artificial nature. That's all I get? Would you mind... Like, that's all I get? That's lame. Yeah, he points to a park bench nearby, a darkness because it's a broken street light. Where are you? Follow him. Back. Too fast. You decide to follow him. Only an enemy totally unconcerned with the masquerade would attack you here. It's like... He did set me up to be weakened. But also, we shook hands. If he wanted to cause me harm, he probably would have done it in that moment. Regardless of the masquerade, you know? He sits down and you follow suit. A moment, you both contemplate the cathedral in silence. I know how it feels, what you just felt. I've experienced it myself many times. For a moment, you consider how to respond. It's clear he sent the invitation to come here and orchestrated this little setup. Yeah. Or maybe because you're new? Maybe he thinks he had that experience because he had a predisposition to it. Like, he believed in it more. And he's like, I don't know if you do or don't. How do you... Well, no, I guess, you know, word travels fast, so... He would be like, oh, no, there's a fledgling, a neonate. They don't have to do the thing, but if they do, let's see what happens. I feel like punching you. No, I'm good. Are you trying to get me killed? I'm just gonna be like, why did you invite me? Like, what's going on here? What's the point? Why did you go to the trouble of getting me here? We share a connection, you and I. I'll explain later, but right now the important thing is that they're so much easier to show than tell. I wanted you to meet Father Anthony, or see him experience them. Did you wonder why it felt like that? Yeah, no, I asked you. I literally just, those are the words that came out of my mouth very recently. Is it a supernatural power? No, no, not at all. I don't think so. It's his faith that makes you feel like that. He's safe in his belief while you are one of the damned. Do you ever wonder what the role of a vampire in God's creation? And right there, that right there, is one of the biggest fucking questions in the whole World of Darkness universe. If vampires exist, and they exist as a result of Cain, you know, it proves that the Bible has some relevancy and is at least to some degree accurate, and that God is real, some form. Not saying that the Bible is accurate, but it's accurate enough that Cain, however it is a real human being that is supernatural and has existed for what, 5,000 years? I don't know. I don't know. More than 2,000. But like a long ass time. Maybe way longer than that. I don't know. But the reality is, you have to accept that if Cain is the progenitor, then you have to consider that God is why this is all happening. God cursed Cain. And as a result, the rest of us all sort of exist. Now, there's an extra caveat to that. There's like an asterisk where Cain and Lilith, which is part of another part of that isn't in the Bible, that's more of a Jewish tradition or concept, and even then it might not be canonical there, where Adam had a first wife and it was Lilith, but she wasn't exactly I guess patriarchy supportive. She didn't want a 1950s that shit. She kind of was equal to him, and Adam was not having it. So she got 86th in the sense that she got sent out, and then like, bye Felicia. And then God was like, alright, well, I'm going to take a piece of you so that they'll always be subjugated. And that's the whole why women are... okay, I don't want to say those words. But that's sort of like how religion, and that's the Christian and all the things. But, anyway, conceptually, thinking about it, as a vampire, you have to accept, if this is true, then God is real, and two things occur from that. First, you're probably fucking damned, dude, and that sucks, whether you chose this or not, and that could be very unfair, or you could have chosen it, blah blah blah. That's a thought for another day. But that God is real, and God, according to like all the things, sort of has a plan or a choice or whatever. God wouldn't have fucking just let fucking Cain do his thing knowing it would be terrible. There has to be a plan. So you have to sort of fill a void. Like, you gotta be there's predators. Predators exist in the natural order. Darwinism, blah 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 blah. Like, you have to be there for a reason, right? So what is the role of a vampire in God's creation? That's a valid question. You stop to think. Of course, you've wondered what this is all about, whether it's about God or nature. You don't really know what being a vampire means. That's the trouble with the masquerade. A human faced with human problem can go online and find something that helps. You can't. Yet, no, you're not going to be like, I'm a wiki this shit. The masquerade means that everything there is to know about your condition is secret, hidden away, or left relying on the unreliable opinions of people like Benoit. Is that it? Benoit. Suddenly, takes your hand and presses it against his chest. Stares into your eyes. You feel his heart stop. My heart no longer beats, yet I move. I talk. Is that how God intended us to be? I feel like whatever happened to you, like maybe you're a Toreador, or you could be a lot of other clans, but I feel like you probably shouldn't be a vampire in the first place, but you're like extra thinky, and like, or maybe you weren't religious and you were just a philosopher, you know, maybe you were an atheist in life and you're just like, then you got turned into a vampire and you're just like, but okay, so things definitely aren't as simple as I thought they were. And then you just dedicated yourself like you did in life. And now we're here. Let me go. I don't feel like there's any right answer here. There's a natural explanation. I don't think so. I don't think we're just, oh no, you and I were just infected by some disease that animates us. It's like, no, supernatural shit's happening. I just had supernatural shit happen to me. I don't have a good fucking thing. I'm gonna say no, can't be, because that's the only best answer. No, he didn't. I know he didn't. This is wrong. It's like, but yet we exist, and vampires exist. God's supposed to be perfect. God allowed this to happen. God made Cain, and you don't even know about Cain right now, my guy, but still. Yes, I agree. The question is, can there be salvation for the likes of us? And that's where we're getting into more deep territory. Sometimes I'm skeptical too, but in Father Anthony's presence, I know faith is real. I know it because it hurts so much, but perhaps you have questions about faith and our kind. Yes, what are we? How do you know these stories are true? Perhaps we are divine, not damned. I want to say that. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say my character would want to be like, that hurt or whatever, but maybe things are, I don't know. I just want to go with that. Perhaps we are divine, not damned. He laughs, and for the first time, the aura of bitterness enveloping him lifts. You're clever! There's many religious cults among the kindred, even more among the anarchs. Some of them do indeed believe we are divine. We die, we rise again, just like Jesus. Be careful with that kind of talk, though. You might not know it, but there are always politics attached to every belief. Go into Elysium, and then declare your divinity, and everyone around will start making assumptions of you. Sometimes faith is best kept private, even among our kind. No, I get the feeling that's definitely the case. Just ask yourself, when you met Father Anthony, did you feel divine? That's exactly why I didn't want to say that. Because it's like, if this hurt, this, like, Look, I am not a supporter of Catholicism.